Hello, everyone. Whew. I'm gonna be honest. First off, intro. I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. You all know that. This is my show. I review movies and TV, what have you, news. Occasionally a video essay. Thanks for all the love. For instance, the music video. I appreciate it. It took a lot for me to do that, and I appreciate you guys, your kindness. So, I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to save whatever other additional things for the end because only thing I'm going to say is that I was going to double up the two movies I saw today, and I realized once I saw the first one that I simply couldn't because I had to talk about this one the whole video. So I'm going to do two videos in quick succession, then either late tonight or early tomorrow, depending on when I get to it, because I might go to sleep soon after I might hold it off till tomorrow and wait till I'm in better shape. I'm going to do Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then Florian Ulysses also tomorrow in SNL. But I'm going to do two videos in quick succession. This is the first one. So the first movie I saw today at the theater, and a lot of this also came from shame of not seeing Judas and the Black Messiah in the theater because I felt sad about it. This movie's on Hulu. I didn't need to leave my house to go see it in a theater, drive 15 minutes and pay $15 to see this movie. It was free to me. But I cared enough about the movie experience to do so, and by God, I made the right decision. Because the movie I'm going to tell you is great. That movie is a movie that's gotten a lot of buzz, and it's been on a lot of best lists from last year. Like I said, my criteria is different. It'll be on mine for the year that's ending in December, because technically this did not get a major theatrical release in 2021. However, I almost did see it in 2020. I was ready to go. I had an invite to go to a virtual screening of it online back in December. I just missed my window. The tickets sold out before I could get to them for all the showings for the virtual show, like the charity, like the film restoration thing. So that was a bummer. But the movie in question is, and I saw it in IMAX of all theaters. Turns out that was also very worthwhile. Was a film called Nomadland, which was directed by Chloe Zhao, who previously did, among other things, her I can't remember the name of her first movie. Her second movie I did see was called The Rider. It was great. She's one up herself this time. Her next movie is actually Marvel's Eternals. I'm gonna see it for sure. I love Marvel. Anyone who's seen my weekly WandaVision sort of posts knows that. I'm a Marvel junkie. I'm the one guy who stuck it out through the whole run of Inhumans, Iron Fist, and Hellstrom. That's how much I love Marvel. So, let's not waste any more time. So, Nomadland is, how do I describe this movie? The plot. There really isn't a plot in the traditional sense. What it is it's almost sort of like a lot of people describe it a bit as like docufiction. That's kind of what it is. And I'll explain kind of what that is in a bit. But basically what it is it's the great Frances McDormand is in this movie playing... Basically, Frances McDormand, her character's name is Fern, but it's pretty much implied that she's also just playing Frances McDormand. Early in the movie, and the extra aspect of IMAX kind of helped this, her driver's license said Frances McDormand. Fern could just be a nickname. It's her and David Stratham, I believe his name is, who's a phenomenal actor. He's playing Dave. So again, I think they're just playing themselves. And then there's them, and then just about everyone else in this movie is not an actor. They are non-actors. Following the tradition of The Rider, which the whole movie, the lead was an actual real person. This is who never acted a day in his life. She's one after herself by having basically the whole supporting cast be actual people in this lifestyle. So the premise of the movie is basically what there is Fern is kind of in this small town. It's set in 2011. And basically what happens is that in the wake of the Great Recession of 2008, her small little town, the mill that they worked at closed because of the dire financial straits. And also in the process, the town was basically swept away completely. The zip code was disowned. The town was basically gone. But she stayed because her husband lived there and her husband had passed away since. And she just felt like she couldn't leave. So finally, kind of working dead end, kind of living off, kind of on and off. But she decided she's going to live a nomadic existence. People don't know who nomads are. They're basically simple living individuals nomads are kind of people, what they do is they kind of live out of their cars or trailers or RVs, and they go from town to town, or often in groups, and they just live off the land with a lot of it just clothes off their back and like a suitcase in hand and maybe their phone, and they just live off the land. They kind of, get get jobs where they can here and there just to get enough money to kind of get by and get to the next place, but they just they never stay put for a long time. They just kind of keep moving. The wheels are always spinning, they're always going on in the next thing, and then occasionally maybe they'll meet back up at the park where they all kind of regroup. Fern kind of finds a sort of a makeshift family and community with these people, and the thing is, I don't want to call it a gimmick because it's not, because it works beautifully. All of the people she meets at this park that aren't Frances McDormand and David Stratham are basically, well, I guess Frances McDormand is the least. Other than David Stratham, everyone she meets in here is not an actor. They've never acted in their life. They are actual nomads. This is based on a nonfiction book. And a lot of the movie is not really a movie of plot. A lot of it, the arc of her character is she's overcoming the grief of her husband, but really what it is she just goes from town to town, meets different people who are, like, non-actors. And then, like, Chloe Zhao just fixes her camera onto these people and lets them tell their stories. Talk about their experiences. And does it in a balanced sort of way where it never becomes exploitative. She never looks down on these people, and she also never props them up to be these, like, noble, stereotypical sort of nobler than thou heroes. She just shows them at face value for who they are, their life, and just finds the beauty in the little things that they love. I know I use a lot of hyperbole on this show, and I said this, I think, in my St. Maud review, that I don't, when I had to be a little bit, gush about a movie, and said that there was no hyperbole, I meant it there, and I meant it here. Nomadland is not only guaranteed a spot on my best of list come year end, and possibly of the decade, at decade end. Nomadland, when it comes to authenticity and capturing humanity and all of its, like, little beautiful things, Nomadland is one of the best movies I've ever seen. No joke. No BS. This movie is a masterpiece. Nomadland is just a beautiful, beautiful work of art. And I talked a little about this in my video of The Haunting about, loss. I've gone through my own loss, and I thought about that during this movie. There's a very particular moment, without spoiling too much, and I cannot do justice to this. I'm going to credit him. Bob Wells, who is one of the nomads, is one of the people, and he apparently is also a YouTuber, and they bring that up, and it's for real. I Googled it, I searched him on YouTube afterwards, I found his channel, it's legit. He does a speech about how he's sharing a story with Frances McDormand, Fern, about, she talked about loss of her husband, she talks about her son who I'm not going to go into detail for his sake, but who died. And he says, along the survivor's guilt brought me here, and what kept me here was this idea that, and one of the things he loved about being a nomad is that you never say goodbye. It's never goodbye, it's, I'll see you down the road. That's how he puts it. He says, we're going to, basically one day we're all going to see each other again. And he mentions that there's a lot of older people who live this lifestyle and let me never say goodbye. And those are little things too, like, just these things that just, there's not a moment in this movie or a line in this movie that doesn't feel completely authentic, that feels in any way like it's scripted. It all feels really off the cuff and just like it's really meaningful. And it's being said from the heart, and it's not being said from a script. This movie is just a beautiful piece of art. That I was sitting back in my seat, and it was me and one other person in the IMAX here. An older woman who really loved it too. Maybe not as much as I did, but she did. One thing we were agreeing on is that Frances McDormand was amazing in it. I'm not going to go on too much longer because we're going to have our usual segments after this, so I'm just going to leave it at this. Only have a few more minutes. Nomadland. I'm going to probably do a deep dive of this someday. I want to. I want to be more expansive than 15 minutes alone will allow. All I'll say is that I could not rate Nomadland any higher. Even stars are not enough for this film. I'm never going to forget this film. I will always cherish the experience of seeing this film. And it's films like this that make me love film. It's films like this that make me want cinemas to stay alive. And again, I said this with just bonus side, but I stand by it. If you are able, if you're vaccinated, or if you just, are low risk, or you just feel like you're willing to do so, don't stick with the convenience of watching this at home. See this on a big screen. See this, if not for the filmmakers, for the people in this film. Their stories need to be told on the biggest canvas imaginable, and the way it was intended to be, and I'm so glad I saw it that way. Got real there. So needless to say, Nomadland gets 5 stars. 5 stars plus, really. I love this movie. I will always cherish this movie. Please see this movie. Even if you end up hating it and you don't feel the same way, just see this movie. Just your ticket dollars alone, your $10 to this movie tells the people making this movie, keep doing this kind of movie. Art like this should be celebrated. Art like this should be seen communally within reason in a theater. This is that kind of film. So, not at home on your TV. So, I know it's a lot to ask. I know that some people but even if you can't, you have to stay home. Even if you're sick yourself, or you're just like, if you have a Hulu account, watch this movie. If you don't have a Hulu account, get a free trial, watch this movie. It's an hour and 48 minutes. Please watch this movie any way you can. If you have to go on if you're on an airplane and it's on, just watch Nomadland. It is a beautiful film. Please watch this movie. Alright, I gotta stop there. 5 stars for Nomadland. Trailer trash, relatively short. There were only 3 of them. Weirdly out of place, because I saw it in IMAX, and, this is a rarity where it's an IMAX movie that's not a big explodey fest, but it still uses the scope beautifully. So the first movie, and there's also not a lot to say, because 2 of them I've already covered on this segment, which are Black Widow, goes without saying, I'm excited for it, Godzilla vs. Kong, I have a t-shirt for it, I said I'm going with a friend, we're picking sides, so I'm excited for that, opening week, I guess, coming on a Wednesday, right before April Fool's Day. And then Fast and the Furious 9, which is the one I haven't talked about. I'm really excited. I love those movies. I know it seems weird because everyone thinks I'm kind of this artsy-fartsy guy, but I've been a fan of this series since I was in junior high. Seen all of them. Particular affinity for Hobbs and Shaw. I think it's hysterical. The thing about the brick with Ryan Reynolds is just so unbelievably funny, indescribably funny. Can't wait for it. I don't know how they're going to bring Han back, but I'm excited. So, and then, was there shawarma? No. Barring a dedication right before the final credit, there was not. However, there is a song that is sung briefly earlier in the movie by some of the Nomads that's played over the credits that I think you should stick around for. The credits are not long, they're about 2 minutes. The song is beautiful. It's so moving. So, Nomadland, please see Nomadland. I'm saying, if this show does anything, I don't expect it to do much of anything because there's not a lot of people watching. Only people who are able to watch. If any of you, even the one of you, see this movie. Please see this movie. It's so good. You see one movie this year at all, just see Nomadland. Please see Nomadland. Sorry, I'm repeating myself, but please. So I'll be back very soon. I'm going to eat my dinner. I have pizza rolls. Nobody else was open. I had to make do. I was in a hurry. I wanted to get this to you. So I'm going to eat some food, hang out a bit. My review of the movie Land, not Nomadland, Land, coming out next, along with the trailer trash for that movie and the various segments. And then maybe a little story about my experience. It was kind of fun. And then later tonight, either later tonight or tomorrow, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Episode 2, I haven't forgotten. I'm also going to do SNL later tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon to early evening, I plan on watching and reviewing the Disney Plus film Flora and Ulysses. Either Saturday or Sunday. And so until next time, and that'll be next time, very soon, again, I'm going to edit this puppy, eat my lunch while it uploads, eat my dinner while it late dinner while it uploads, and then, review it again and then do my thing. So, see you next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all. And I'm happy to share it with you. And for God's sake, please go see Nomadland, please. Alright, thank you.